I think we went to Abri, we went to the mountains. We were going, and there was a guy that was holding a Golf GTI. He was following us. The curve is left, so I should turn. And then when we turned, we didn't see the car. I told him, I saw the car there. And then we stopped. We got down from the car, and then we saw that the guy actually crashed into a wall that was on the road. What's up, guys? It's your boy Tenchi, aka what's the color of your scat pack?
What's your favorite car brand?
My favorite car brand is BMW.
Three of your favorite BMWs.
BMW M3 G80, BMW M5 F90, and BMW M6 M13. F13, sorry.
Okay. What's the farthest place you've driven a car to?
So I drove from Lome to Accra. I think that's the furthest one, yeah.
Drifting or drag race?
Drag race.
Manual or automatic?
Well, it depends. It depends on the car, but I will say automatic.
Okay. All-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive?
All-wheel drive.
Toyota or Nissan?
Nissan, because of the GTR.
Opel or Volvo?
Volvo.
Lexus or Nissan?
Nissan.
American Muscle or JDM?
JDM.
Okay, so what are some of the 10 interesting cars you've driven and 10 interesting cars you've sat in?
Well, that's actually okay. I have a list. Let me go through it. I'll name some of them. So, cars I've driven. I drove a Golf 7R, a Ferrari Portofino, a Lamborghini Aventador S, a BMW M3 F80, and MK5 Supra. I almost said BMW MK5 Supra. BMW 540, the one that's I actually drove both of the fastest. So they are crazy cars, especially when they are tuned. The B58 is a crazy engine. I drove the M850i, CLA 45, the 2020, and I also drove the 2015 one. That was stage 3 at that moment. And I also drove a Porsche Cayenne S. Then for the cars I've sat in, the most interesting ones, I sat in an RS6C7 MTM. I sat in a 911 Turbo S 992 generation, BMW F5 F90 that was doing 1002 or 1003 at that time. So I think that's the fastest I've sat in my whole life. Golf 7R, Dodge Ram TRX, Reckless AMG 63S. Very fast car, very crazy car. BMW M340 Stage 2, a Reckless AMG GT again, a GLA 45, a Corvette Stingray, and a lot of others. But I think those are the most interesting ones.
Tell us a story.
So I'm going to talk about the first time I actually came to Ghana. So it was back in 2022. So just know that was my first time I was coming from scratch. Those days I was talking with ISSALINKOP, so we were talking through Instagram, and OJ, shout out to him. So we were speaking, he was telling me that I should come and then we would do something. So I actually had something to do in Accra myself. So I took the occasion, I came with my car, the CLA 45 2020 model. I didn't know how the Ghana boys would like accept me or not, because my English is not really that, I come from a French country, so I was trying my best. I didn't know how the road would be. I didn't know how the things were going to go, but I took so the adventure. I left the Aflau border around 8 in the morning, and I met a lot of things on the road. So first thing I'm going to talk about are the police barrier and the police stops. Guys, it's too much. I met, I think, more than 20 stops on the road, and it's like you have to do something for the boys every time you stop. So it was my first time experiencing it. I mean, I was not used to it, but it's all good. It's all about it. So going through, I actually made my way. The second thing I noticed was the speed ramps. There are a lot of speed ramps on the road, and my car is very low, so it was a bit challenging to come here. I didn't know where the speed ramps were, where the town, so that I could slow down and things. So I really had to take my time. I think the first time I took around 4 hours to get to Accra, especially the Tema area too. There was a lot of traffic. I heard it was the port day, so there was a lot of traffic. Then I got to Spintex Road. When I got to Spintex Road, the road was open and I was gunning. And then I got a call from ISSALINKOP. ISSALINKOP told me, hey, this boy, you are doing wonders, because I have a friend that just called me and told me that he saw a CLA 45, a black one on the road with a Togo plate, and the car is doing crazy things. So there are a lot of potholes on the road. I should slow down. And I told him, you should not worry, because I know what I'm doing. 20 minutes after, I was already at airport here. He was shocked, but it's all about it. That's the car culture. So when I got here, I went to the place I booked. I took an apartment. First time I went through the city, I saw some things because I had to get familiar to the town. And then I think it was a Friday. So Fridays are car meets and Mexico runs. If you know, you know. So when I came, I went to Marina Mall first. I met a lot of the boys. I met Benasari, I met ISSALINKOP, I met OJ, I met James, I met Nasib, I met Percy. I met a lot of people and they were all welcoming. It was really a great experience because there were like no differences between us. They all took me as a part of the crew, and then we all moved together to Mexico. We did some runs. That night I experienced my first runs. I went against an RS4, shout out to Nasib. His RS3 too. I went against an MT10. That bike is stupidly fast. That was the first time I actually experienced a fast bike. So it was a whole lot of experience. It was very cool. I really enjoyed it. The Saturday, I think we went to Abri, we went to the mountains. So it was also my first time experiencing the mountains. The road is a very good road. The only problem is that when you get to the actual mountains, there are a lot of sharp curves. So I had to make my way through it. Actually, let me tell you about that night because something really particular happened. We were going and there was a guy that was holding a Golf GTI. He was following us. So I was just behind him and we were going. I had a friend of mine that was called Kin and another one that was called Senna. So they joined my car and we were going. And then at the time, I didn't see the GTI in front of me. I saw a car that entered a wall just in front of me, and it was actually the GTI. And I was telling him that that's the car. He said no, the curve is left, so I should turn. And then when we turned, we didn't see the car. I told him I saw the car there, and then we stopped. We got down from the car, and then we saw that the guy actually crashed into a wall that was on the road. So we called all the boys. Everybody came back. We all helped him. We checked the car, what was broken or not. We called the tow truck. So that night was crazy. We got there around 10, but we spent almost 4 hours there just trying to remove the things, take contact with the people owning the actual house that had the wall. We had to do a whole lot of things. We called a tow truck. So it was a bit of a bad night, but in the end, nobody got injured, and the car is perfectly running now, so it's all good.
3, 2, 1, go!